So this is mostly horror, suspense, psychological, thriller stuff. So I'll just get started up here. There's a bit of a glare there, sorry. The Descent, awesome movie. American Werewolf in London, The Howling, Dog Soldiers, Silver Bullet. All of those right there, some of my favorite films. I mentioned Silver Bullet. If I can, here we go, see it. That's the first horror movie that I saw when I was younger with a friend. Didn't really know what I was getting into, but even though now watching it, it's now one of my favorite movies. Sorry, it's not really focusing. Believe it or not, when I was younger and saw this for the first time, gave me nightmares. Actually, I wanted my dad to put a lock on my closet door, and he put one of those little hook and eye things on there for me. So yeah, I saw this when I was really young, and it really scared me. But yeah, Silver Bullet, it's become one of my favorite horror movies. I think it's, I mean, there's a lot of even funny parts in it now. Looking back, it was, I mean, it was a big deal when I first saw it, but that was kind of my foot in the door awakening to the horror genre. Little did I know it would become one of my favorite films. Dracula there with Gary Oldman. Terrific, terrific movie. Interview with the Vampire. That's a really, really entertaining, nice long movie. Great acting. Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, good stuff. And some disaster movies there. Independence Day. The Resurgence, I got that just kind of for entertainment reasons, but I'm not a huge fan. I think they could have just stopped with the first one. War of the Worlds, definitely like an underrated Tom Cruise movie, remake of the original. I think that's an excellent, excellent movie. Same with Signs. I don't know, I haven't heard like as much as I thought I would have over the years of people liking that movie, but I think that's a really great movie. Recently found Unbreakable, and then obviously the new Split is kind of a follow-up to this movie. It's funny because I watched Split about a month ago, and I knew it was the follow-up to Unbreakable, but guess what? I've never seen Unbreakable. So that's on my to-watch list. And yeah, some slasher stuff up there. Texas Chainsaw, some of Rob Zombie's Twisted films. Frailty, that's a really good one. Disturbia, I really liked that in college. Some Stephen King stuff there. The Shining is one of my favorite Stephen King stories, and I love Stanley Kubrick's take on it. Stephen King supposedly did not. He thought he took kind of the wrong spin on his novel, but Kubrick kind of just went with it anyway, and turned out to be a horror classic. Yeah, I love it regardless. American Psycho, that's a really good one. And Jaws, some tropical kind of based movies there. The Beach, it's one of my favorites. Kind of a cult classic there, Leonardo DiCaprio. Really cool paradise kind of setting. I love the soundtrack. Moby, his song Porcelain whenever they when he discovers the beach for the first time, where this group of people have moved and kind of started their own, off the grid way of life. That song fades in, and oh man, it just takes me away. I love it. And off here in the corner, I love Inception. It's a great movie. Children of Men, that's a really unique one too. Check that out if you haven't. Paranormal Activity, I really enjoyed, especially 2 and 3 were my favorites. The Visit, that's a newer one that I added to my collection. Some possession movies there. The Exorcist, a classic. Saw, I had, I think 2, maybe 3 at one point, but I actually got rid of them. I love the original. I never really got into the rest of that series. I just felt like they did it just to do it, to, I don't know, just add more gore and different ways of people getting trapped and killed. And I just thought, nah, I really liked the twist at the end of the original, and that's all I need. Hostel, I like part 2 as well. After that, I stopped. I know they made a part 3. It was more of like a cheaper, low budget one, but Hostel, the original, oh my word, great creative story. Yeah, very, very creepy. Halloween, I thought Rob Zombie did a pretty cool job with that, but I have kind of mixed thoughts on that, but still entertaining, like the original as well. Friday the 13th, obviously I'm a pretty big fan of that. I have the 8 movie collection here of all the main ones that they did. I have the 1 through 4, the original, Freddy vs. Jason, that's always been a go-to. Love that one, that was really entertaining. Then the Friday the 13th, the remake, that was good. Definitely, I think could have been better, but yeah, I'll kind of stick to the originals. Yeah, I hear they've been kicking around doing another Friday the 13th movie for years now, but I guess that's been tabled off and on with lack of funding and a studio that, either picks it up and then drops it or whatnot. But Paramount, I don't think they're involved at this point, but we'll see. That'd be nice to get that at some point. Jeepers Creepers, first 2, I really enjoy. The third one that just came out, I'm not interested. I've heard terrible things about it. Started to watch it. Actually, it's on YouTube. They posted it after it aired on the Sci-Fi Channel, and it definitely feels, just the first couple minutes, I was done with it. It didn't have near the movie quality production that these 2 did. So I'll stick with these. Wrong Turn, that's a great one. Hills Have Eyes. The second one's good. I prefer the first, but yeah, so moving on. Here's part of my knife collection. I'm going to be showing that at some point on my channel. Some books. Stephen King. Cycle the Werewolf. I mentioned that in one of my previous movie review videos. That is what inspired Silver Bullet that I talked about here. There's It. One of the pressings of that one. I don't think they sell that one anymore. 10 Years. Recently got that. Their new album came with a signed booklet. Newbury Comics. I would recommend them if you're into getting autographed CD booklets of like alternative rock bands. Sometimes they partner with them and will send you one of these. So it's always nice to meet the band, after a show and actually get the autographs in person. But this is cool too. They actually sat and signed that. I think that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I talk about my dad in some of my videos. He passed away a number of years ago. That's him with our dog from when I was little. That was before I was on this earth, but I look at that every morning. It makes me smile. He loved the ocean. Liked to fish too, as do I. There's another Counting Crows autographed CD. I went with a friend in my worship band. I play drums in my church's worship group, and the lead singer and I went to see them in Matchbox 20 a couple of months ago. They were awesome.